Hi guys, I want to show you something that we're gonna have to start doing. Isa, I guess this will be a project for you. Um, Basically, we're gonna start having DOIs, digital object identifiers, on each of our articles that we publish. And this way it'll help raise the profile of the journal, and it will help people find our articles more easily, and that meta data is really important in finding out who's the impact our journal has. Um, what CrossRef requires too is that if we're a member, which we are now, we always have to submit um, a DOI for each article that we publish, and I will take care of that end of things. Um, we have a certain formula we're going to use, and it has to be a unique identifier. Um, they also require that we, what do they call it, like cross-reference or uh, our, our, um, our references that our authors used at the end of their papers. So in other words, just aside from having just an APA formatted works cited page, there will be a DOI line at the end of that as well, which will be a hyperlink um, for folks to find the respective articles that our authors have referenced in their papers. So here's how we're going to do it. I've done the forthcoming issue for the January issue, so 30.1. I've done that, and all of those all those references now have been well, I've added the DOIs to each of those. Working backwards, here we've got 29.4, and I think this is how we should do it. Basically, we need to check them all and just kind of redo the references in the metadata. You might see that, like Sue's article, she actually has the DOIs in there already, but I think just for quality control, it's better if we just kind of, assume that they're wrong and redo it, and it's really easy to do. So here's Vasconcelos or Vasconcelos. Let's look there and go into editing. Now, we'll have to figure out what the best way to do this is, but basically the last version is this PDF. Okay, here's the galley. I wouldn't use the layout version because there could be some changes in there, right? And there's a disadvantage to using the PDF version, as you'll see. But this is the one that appears in print. So I think that's the safest bet. So what I'm going to do is shrink this down a little bit. Okay. So this is the print version that the world sees. And what I'm doing is just highlighting all this. Oops, come on. I'm trying to highlight all of this. Let's try it from here. Very good. Edit, copy. And you'll see that there's some extraneous things there that we'll have to get rid of. Here, paste. Now they require, we only get to do 1,000 of these a month, so I don't think we'll get to that. But we have to register. And what you do is put the Calico Journal login or email address. That's all. You don't need any other stuff. So here is that extra thing. Just make sure here. Yeah. And basically, so you've gone to this website, okay? And then you've punched in this. You've copied from the article that the world sees, pasted it in here, and now you're going to submit. And it takes a little time. So one thing you might do is keep in mind all these steps and maybe just make a Word document for the whole issue, and just kind of put page breaks or something so you can keep them straight, or put the author's name at the top so you can keep them straight, and then paste that whole bunch of references into that window, so it'll only do this process once that you just saw, okay? So it takes a minute or so for each one. So it might be easier. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you. So here you see it's come back with just about everything had a DOI. And if we compare that to the published version now, and I think it's okay to not have the DOIs listed here, as long as they're in the metadata, all right? So the Chun, Dorothy Chun, you see it's the same, and then if this is just a preview window, but you would arguably be able to click on this, and that would take you directly to that article, or to the part where you're able to log in or pay for the article, okay? All right, so what you do then is you just copy it, okay? This here is another format that we just leave, okay? A lot of times edited collections will have the something med ID, okay? So leave that as well. It's just an additional bonus. Okay, so I've copied those. I'm going to go over and now go into review metadata. Really, it's editing metadata. And then you'll see here, that's what we've got. Okay. Save metadata. Yes, we're sure. It is overwriting the old references now. So now when we go down, you will see this here, okay? There we go. And that's the way it's going to have to look. Just make sure that we don't have two squished together, right? You should always separate them with a line in between, but this interface here is really smart, and it'll kind of anticipate. If you didn't have line breaks like I didn't, it'll usually find those line breaks for you. Okay? So that's one down in, what was it, 29.4, and now we just need to do the rest of them. Okay? That's it.